y'all, it's BJ.
It's Jay.
And this is
a sip
and a shot. Woo, 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 woo. We're here with another episode, y'all.
Yeah.
We're going to be honest.
The alcohol wore off for me.
It wore off for me
It's
too,
cold.
but I feel like the, I feel like the, spiciness is going to come back real quick.
Oh, definitely.
So,
Anywho, our
what
shot.
we got to drink today?
What we're drinking today. So our shot is called Tainted Love. Grab your shot, friend.
It's a layered shot. It has grenadine, tequila rose, and Bailey.
With a little whipped cream on top and some sprinkles.
Cheers to the good.
Cheers to the bad.
Cheers to all the things we wish we had.
Clink. Tap it. Okay. Thank goodness for the whipped
Something
cream.
was sour in there.
I think it might have been the
Grenadine?
grenadine. Because I didn't taste, my nose. I didn't taste anything sour until the end.
Grenadine.
Yeah.
I should have took this like a blowjob shot.
Yeah, I don't know how your whipped cream stayed in there. Slurped the whipped cream first, but whatever.
It was grenadine.
Yeah.
And our sip
Is
called Sex in the Driveway. Now, when we get into this topic,
I guess it'll make sense.
it might make sense. It might not, or it might just be we have blue care, so we want to see what we can make with it.
I should have brought more Sprite downstairs, but
You want to run and get it?
yeah.
Okay.
Pause. Back.
So our sip today is called Sex in the Driveway.
Yeah.
This has rum, blue carousel, peach schnapps, and topped with Sprite.
And when we say top with Sprite, we really mean a splash of Sprite.
Cheers, dog.
Cheers.
You do not have to tap your sip glass.
I am who I am. Wow.
Ooh.
Wow. Well, okay.
You know what would have been good in that?
That's an experience. What?
Some like lemon,
Yeah.
like a little sour.
A little sour something.
It's like too much blue carousel. I mean blue carousel.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Blue control.
Blue carousel. Okay, so our topic is called exes and boundaries.
Yeah.
So, well, you don't know, but we have like a list of different things that we want to discuss, maybe think about discussing. I write all of Jamie's junk conversation topics down.
This was not me this time. It wasn't.
There.
I was like, it wasn't me.
So one of our topics led us to, like having an ex and creating boundaries with an ex that we have an ex completely out of our lives.
Yeah. It's not, and I guess it's not an ex
Here we go.
that you need to like X out, not necessarily that you broke up for terrible, crazy reasons or anything like that. Like he was abusive or he cheated or anything that you might have broken up on good terms or decent terms.
Or like you're hurt but not devastated.
Yeah, you're hurt, not devastated, to the point where he can stay is a part of your life.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great way to say it.
That's
Because I
an
was like,
excellent way to say it.
I cut people out whether they did me dirty or not.
Do you?
Yeah. My last one, bye. He didn't do anything.
Are you talking about boyfriend?
Boyfriend.
Okay, now I'm talking to. Cause I'm like, it took you a minute to cut.
I'm talking to everybody be around for at least 2-3 years.
Which is so weird, because how do you cut somebody who, like, you were quote-unquote committed, like commitment, not like marriage commitment, but like exclusive with easily, and then somebody you, like, talk to, you're like, Is it because the expectations weren't that high anyway?
It's only one person that I dated that, like, had a relationship with that I cut out. Like, haven't had that many relationships.
Okay.
One. First one, crazy, so naturally.
Yeah, cut. He needed to be cut.
Needed to be cut.
Yeah.
The second one, when our friend was, the second one was at our friend's engagement birthday party.
Okay, is that who we're talking about?
That's why I was like, I cut him off. Even though he didn't do anything wrong, I was just like, I wasn't.
You didn't want him a part of your life anymore.
Yeah, anyway. But it's like the people that I've talked to for years compared to like that last relationship, it was like that relationship was only a few months. And the people that I talked to for, like, we'll be dating, going out, having a great time for months. And then it's kind of like,
what are we doing?
You're tripping. Or what are we doing?
And it's funny because, like, when I think about your ex versus the one person I'm thinking about in particular.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm like, we should have kept the other one around. Shoot.
Yeah, he was. They're all annoying. But, you know.
Sorry.
No, I know. I heard the door.
So, you heard the door?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that is the door.
Yeah. That's like the door.
Okay. So, we're gonna do this thing. So, with having boundaries, for me, I think this is... Let me drink some more.
Just like it on that note, we're just gonna drink a little bit more.
I need some more Sprite.
Mm-hmm.
It's like almost too. This one is not that great, but I feel like if we would have tasted it before, probably if we tasted it before, we could have made a better drink. Okay. Exes and boundaries. Here we go. Let's do this thing.
Apparently, the boundaries for sex in the driveway are fucked. Because this drink is rough.
This is going. We haven't had a bad drink in a minute.
No, we haven't. And this is. I mean, it ain't gonna be the worst, but this is.
You don't think this is gonna be the worst? It doesn't have like a real taste.
It doesn't. It just tastes weird.
Yeah. Anyway, so this came up because when you dated someone for a long time. I'm trying to get my thoughts together. I'm like so thrown
and it's
off.
Like I know.
Like, so thrown off.
And you split for mutual reasons, whatever.
For good reasons, like you grew apart.
Yes.
Grew apart relationally, but there's still an underlying friendship. So for me, I feel like my relationships had a foundation of friendship. And I hate her so much only because of the way she's looking at me. We had a foundation of friendship, so it was hard. It is still. No, it's not anymore. It's hard to like make that cut cold turkey.
Yes.
And creating boundaries, and that's what I'm doing now. I feel like I've done it before. Like I've created a boundary.
Yeah.
My boundary might not have been as great as my friends have wanted my boundary to be, but you know.
Teach their
whatever. It's my boundary.
It sure is.
It's my ex, so shit.
It's your boundary. You got to deal with the repercussions of that boundary line on not on your own, but you got to deal with it.
What?
What
happens when? So what's a boundary for an ex? Like if you decided to keep in touch with your ex, what was a boundary that you feel like you would need to have?
Ooh, that's a big if.
Not the bad, like horrible ex, but
okay,
like
let's go with not an ex, but people I'm talking to.
Okay.
Because they're the ones that usually come. So conceited. Come back after a while.
And they be like, I ain't say that. I never said that.
They always say that. I never said that. That's not what I meant. You don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. One is usually if they're coming back, it's like if you want to see me, we have to meet, like go out somewhere in public. I'm not coming to your house. I don't want to hang out in the crib.
Okay.
I'm not, because we got the sex portion of things comes off the table a lot of times.
Oh, it does?
Yes. Comes off the table, or I'm gonna be a little harder for you to meet up with. That's the other piece.
Okay.
Would it be like before, if we were talking and we're on good terms, I might clear out my schedule or squeeze you in or try to be more accommodating.
Okay.
But now that that's done, you get in where you fit in when I feel like I want to see you.
Okay.
Type of thing.
That's a good, because when we're in relationships, we're like, whatever you need, like I'm a check. Listen, I don't know if y'all heard from the anniversary episode, I'm that chick. Like if I'm in a relationship, I am all the way in.
Yes.
So I'm gonna check with him. I'm gonna make sure,
Like, you don't have anything planned.
For
there wasn't
us,
anything.
or, you didn't need a little, quality time. Because I'm going to check on my
There
man.
wasn't like some family cookout you just forgot to tell me about that we need to go to, and I've already made plans. Yeah, well,
I do make you a priority in my life.
And make myself available to spend time with you.
So when we split, that availability
shrink
is gone.
It's like you get where you can get. And I'm a busy girl.
I know,
busy girl.
And I feel like with it, most recently, I became busy.
Yeah.
And so me and my ex, we didn't end on bad terms. We didn't end on bad terms.
No.
So
you the one saying it.
He does try to. We do try to see each other. I will say.
Yes.
We do try to. I'm gonna make that plural.
Make it plural. Yeah.
We do try to see each other, but he's always like, "You're so busy now. Like I can't get to you." And I was like, "Listen, bro,
because I made you a priority.
Now you're not. And I was called a homebody.
Yeah.
And now I'm not. So
wasn't a homebody to begin with. Made myself one to suit the situation.
And it's funny because he's like, "Well, what are you doing this day? What are you doing that day?" He knows I do the podcast on Sundays. And I was like, I have something to do that day and that day and that day. He was like, how about you just let me know when you're free? Which is the worst thing that you can do for me. Because
I'll be sitting in bed and not free. Watching a good movie. Reading a good book.
Yeah, like, okay, not free.
Running errands.
So that's a boundary that I have. So this was brought up because a friend of mine, she wanted her ex to dog sit for her.
Yes.
And that just made me wonder. I was like, what falls
in the boundary?
Where is the boundary at, and what falls
what's like crossing the line?
Not crossing the line, but
might be a little dicey.
No. It's not crossing the line. It's what falls. What's the word I'm looking for? Hope. Are you giving him? Because I think that's why that was my biggest thing. Like, I don't want anyone. I cut people out of my life because I don't want anyone to think that. I don't know why you had that face.
What?
I don't want to give.
A little earlier on.
I don't want to get. Excuse me.
You might have been supplying a little false hope.
I don't want to give
hope for those.
I don't want to give false hope. But I always said that, like, I have a fear of letting you have that amount of space and time in my life because I don't want to give you false hope or myself false hope. Because that's the biggest thing. Because especially when you have like a good act, like he's a good guy, good man, whole kit and caboodle, and you enjoy his company, and he's just around. You can get back into that swing really easily.
Yes,
I can. I know me. I can.
I feel like it's a comfortability thing.
Yeah.
When you're comfortable in somebody's space, it's and this is not towards her ex at all. Not towards your ex at all. But I'm saying, like, I think being comfortable with somebody can blur the lines of what a good person is versus what not a good person is. Like, of course, there's bad people that are blatantly bad. But I think,
and maybe not bad people, but like bad for you.
Bad for you. And so I think when you're comfortable with something, it's very easy to go back to the routine. It's very easy to go back into having them
fall into that.
Yeah, and then thinking about the good times where you're not thinking about the bad times and being like, okay, that's a great person, but also they made me feel like this. You might wipe that out unknowingly because
you forget it.
Yes,
because you don't.
They're like, you're comfortable.
It's
like you might still be in a situation where you feel like safe or comforted by their presence. And so when you sitting up here kiki and having a good time with your homeboy,
Netflix,
right, with your homeboy watching Netflix, and then of course you're like, yeah, this reminds me of the good times of our relationship.
You
not thinking about
how to flip it. End up in a whole different situation.
You know exactly what they want. They know exactly what you want.
They know exactly how to get. They know like the buttons, ding, 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 and boundaries are crossed.
Yes,
because. And not necessarily for him, he might be fine, but for you, or vice versa, like you might be fine, but like he's thinking, okay, we're on the track to getting together, and you're like, No,
No.
I'm good.
Actually.
Which then messes up your friendship.
Yes. I think it's a really hard thing to do, I guess.
So do you think not having sex after a breakup is a good boundary to have?
Yeah.
Do you do?
Yeah. Yes.
Do I think not having sex after a breakup is a good boundary? Yeah. I think it's an okay boundary to have.
I think it's a good boundary as long as you know what you're doing and you're prepared. So if you go through a breakup and you have emotionally detached, like I feel like a lot of women will emotionally detach during the relationship, and then once the breakup happens, it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Compared to, I think a lot of guys might be sideswiped by a breakup and have like, they're not prepared. They're like, wait, hold on, I thought everything was good.
Mm-hmm.
But you are saying things
It's
haven't been
not
good for a long time.
He's
That
like,
type of
where
thing.
was I?
Yes, or it could be vice versa, where like the guys like things haven't been good and the girls thinking everything's okay.
Or it'll get better.
Yeah, or it'll get better.
Yeah.
And so I'm saying, like, if you have that boundary of not sleeping with a person until you're ready, like fully ready, not like you're lying to yourself ready, not like, yeah, I don't really know, or I might want to get back with them, or whatever. If you can, not that transactional sex is the best sex to have, but if you can make that a...
During quarantine, it's not a bad sex to have.
No, but I'm like, as post-breakup, if you are not going to get back with that person, it needs to be transactional. No emotional ties. I'm talking about cuddling at the end of the night. I'm talking about waking up next to the person. You want to get breakfast, you want to do this, da-da-da-da. You got to in and out, baby girl.
But see,
baby boy. And I mean, like, if
like,
you
no
can...
sleepovers. And me and my brother had that conversation. He was like, don't sleep over anyone's house.
Yep.
Get that head, that's going to be the motto for 2021, I feel like.
Right.
Get the head, get the bread, and leave. But I feel like with an ex, and this is where the boundaries and the lines
And that's what I said, it's
blur,
a no.
because once you go there with that person, it's easy to want to fall in. I'm like, if I'm doing this, I want the whole kit and caboodle.
And that's
I want all of it. I want to cuddle. I
no.
want to wake up in the morning,
No.
maybe get a little something.
No.
Hell yeah. Buy me IHOP for breakfast.
And it's a no.
And you know what? At 11, you
It's
gotta
a no.
go. Why is that a no?
That line is too blurry, because that's,
it's not
it
that
falls,
blurry. If you know he has to leave.
It falls. He doesn't have to leave.
He has to, if you know in yourself, it's time for him to go.
If he had to leave, he would have left before breakfast. He would have been gone. That's what I'm saying.
I disagree.
But I think that it falls into the false hope thing and the comfort thing, where it's like, you're so comfortable because that, oh, you can get me IHOP. Yeah, I have plans today, but it's also like, okay, we can lounge around for a little bit. We can kiki.
But if you had, so like if you and I was supposed to go to brunch on
Yes.
11, because nothing feels better than to leave homeboy because you got plans. But I'm not gonna cancel my I'm not gonna cancel my plans. I don't think you have to like usher him out. Like if you gonna go, if you're gonna
blurred lines.
It's not. I don't think it's blurred. If you know
because
what you want,
you know what?
If I know I want him to come over, I know I want him to cuddle, fall asleep. Listen, being wrapped up in somebody's arms in the middle of the night.
Relationship tapping you on the shoulder, baby girl. I think that's what we're missing.
No, but in your mind, it's like, if you keep telling yourself, we're not together, but you just have that little bit, you know,
we're not together. You come home by yourself post brunch, and who do you want to come over? Because post brunch, you want somebody there. You gonna call them back?
Over. Yeah, why not?
That's how you slip and fall back into some foolishness.
Well, I didn't slip or fall back into anything. So that's why I believe if you have your boundaries within yourself, fuck you. Your boundaries for yourself, and you know how far you want to take it, and you know emotionally how far you want to take it, then you'll be fine. And you let him know communication. Listen, this is what I want for the evening.
Funny thing is, that's what I started off this section by saying. If you can handle the decisions that you are making, and like that's what I said, I don't think it should be, especially not early on.
No. You gotta wait some time. You gotta
let some time pass. I'm not saying you like.
You gotta wait, not 1 month, not 2, not 3, at least 6 months
until you have. You know that. Okay.
Until
you have a firm idea of what you actually want. Because somebody over here will have you being like, are you sure you don't want to get back? Like, the things that's happening right now sound like there might be a little false hope floating through the air. Just like pregnancy seems to be floating through the air.
That was that was my only reason for having that clear-cut boundary. Because oh wow, this turned personal really quickly. But anyway. Because you think you want
Nasty ass
it's like
nasty ass drink.
you better add some Sprite, girl.
I would keep trying to drink it down so I can add Sprite.
Listen, just chug it. It's like just chug
that's
it.
what I added Sprite. Now I gotta chug again and then add Sprite and then chug again because this is not good.
What was like? Y'all make college type drinks. Like nigga, fuck you. Listen.
Wish I had a ring
I feel
on
like
for that.
I needed a boundary because I was like, it would be my luck to end up pregnant.
That's always my thing. I feel like the luck do not be on the side. And I feel like that's because I went to private school and Catholic school where I'm like, yep, this is it. This is it. This is the moment. That one time you slip up and then all of a sudden
you knew better. You knew not to.
Well, here we are.
I feel like every time we try to get this damn thing down,
I keep trying to just add Sprite to it. I just want to be able to drink it. And I know we're not making another drink for the shooter. This is it. That's all I got to give. 2 episodes in one day.
Right, this is the second episode. Did that drunk not kick back in?
No.
I'm feeling it. Anyway, okay, so what are some other boundaries? James has a no sex unless you are prepared to like hit it and quit it, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I disagree. What's another boundary?
You think you should have sex if you're not prepared to hit it or quit it? You agree?
No. Oh yeah, I agree. Like don't.
That sounds like you agree.
Don't have sex unless you're prepared to hit it and quit it,
Yes.
but you don't necessarily have to just hit it.
You don't. Yeah, I'm not
Like,
saying you
you
have
can
to hit it
spend
or
a
quit it.
night.
But okay, this is how I think about it. If you sleep with your ex,
Okay.
and they pop up a week later out on a date with somebody else, your mental game has to be strong before that's how I think you should process it. It should be like, okay, if I sleep with him today and he pop up out online, or my friend says they saw him with so and so, I have to be prepared for that. And if I cannot handle him living his life,
then I don't need to sleep.
Then I don't need to sleep with him. And that's my thing.
That's a fair boundary.
That's
if it would like mess you up,
that's a
give
fair
you a
boundary.
mini panic attack. And
Yes.
if your level of petty does not reach mine, because I'll see you out on that date and call you that night and ask you to drop some dick off. Like, that level of petty doesn't reach that, then
that's when you
not ever.
I was like, she's alcohol. It's alcohol. But yeah, I think that's how the boundary should be set up. Where it's like, if you can put yourself in multiple situations and you're like, yeah, I don't care, I'll be okay.
That's when you think you're ready to have sex. Well,
Yes.
just don't have sex with them.
Ding, ding, ding. Thank you. Thanks. That's exactly what I'm saying. I said until you're mentally
still
ready.
Having sex with someone, there's a level of respect. If you're still having sex with with someone you were in a full blown relationship with,
there's a level of respect. But it's like there's a level of respect that doesn't i.e. him not bringing baby girl to a function that you're at, or not doing some blatant stuff. But if he's out living his life because he's single and is doing his own thing, if he's at brunch and he's in some girl's ear and you sitting at home doing your own thing, or at a different brunch and somebody's like, oh,
are you trying to tell me you saw him at a brunch or something? Is that what you're doing?
No, friend. What the hell? I'm just trying to give you
can tell
examples. I'm just trying to give you examples.
Okay, I'm over the sex boundary. We understand the limits.
What about the streaming services? This is the biggest one I think people let slide or don't let slide. You might be real petty about letting your ex have the password to your Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, all of those things.
I think if it is, and I already know you disagree, if it's a mutual...
I don't disagree.
Okay, if it's mutual benefits, like you have some streaming passwords and he has some streaming passwords.
Even if it's one-sided. I mean, one-sided benefiting me. I don't care about his side. If I got your passwords and I got access to it, I don't use them.
I am too, and I'm not necessarily going to. You got to do some shit that really pisses me off in order for me to cut you out.
Yeah. Now,
and you can't, and don't add the next girl to.
Oh yeah, that is crossing the line.
That's crossing the line. But I don't mind
crossing the line.
I don't mind.
If you send me some coin, you send me like $4 on that $14 Netflix bill. Send me $4. That might be okay. But
and if you, my thing is, if you change the Hulu password or any other password, then that's it.
Oh yeah, I'm not asking for it.
I'm not asking for it, and then I'm changing it. Period.
Oh yeah.
Then I'm changing it.
I was trying, like, when I said it's one-sided, I'm not saying that I wouldn't, like, this is only one-sided if I have a password or something, like, if I, like, Showtime, whatever. And I have the password, but he doesn't need any of my passwords. Like, he has everything.
Yeah.
And I just have one of his.
You gonna keep using it?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep using it.
Until you change that
Listen,
password.
I earned that. That's like retirement. You still get paid for retirement. I earned that shit. I earned that. No, I'm not giving up the passwords. I'm not giving up none of the stream.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna be petty enough unless you make me mad. I'm not gonna be petty enough because you know when you be in the middle of a Netflix series and your Netflix is like the algorithm is right.
Yeah. That's what
I won't do that to you.
Or if you go in and like restart seasons. Or like just go to a different episode that somebody's watching, like because you can see, like you can go into the thing and see, like, oh, this is the episode you left off at. Let me take it back about 3 episodes and watch halfway through.
Take it all the way up.
Yeah, watch halfway through. So when they go in there and start it, they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And you're like, actually, wait, what? Didn't I already see this? You be like, well,
he won't call you to find out.
Hopefully he won't.
Another boundary
that
I think is a fine boundary to have.
Now the drinks are hitting.
Yeah.
No, this.
Helping out around the house. Like if you have a place that you need like help doing stuff. Like my mom is moving. I almost asked my ex to help my mom move.
And I'll be like, I have friends for that. I got friends for that.
All my friends will be like, we can help you.
Yeah.
Listen, I need my light bulbs changed.
I got people for that. It might take a meal to get them there, but I can get it.
This is why I date men over 6 feet. Because I got shit that needs to be changed.
I need you to get up there without having to get on the step stool.
And someone who knows how to work with their hands.
Yeah. Got people for that.
I mean, we all have people for it, but like if you could get it like all in one night, like you get your light bulb changed, you get your fireplace fixed.
That's a relationship.
You get some dick in there in a night.
That's a relationship.
Cuddle.
If it's a one-stop shop relationship, that's where you are. And I had a friend I had a friend who was newly single last year. And she was talking about, she was like, yeah, I want to have a hot girl summer. I'm going to be a savage, And she was just like, I feel like I want to just, like, sleep with them, but also, like, go out and be able to talk about my feelings and not have a relationship. And we're like, okay,
it's a relationship.
Hi, I know you've been here in this relationship land for quite a while. Let me educate you on what that is. Another relationship. Like, if we take
you don't talk about feelings.
Yeah, I was like, if we take you the whole time talking about feelings, about life, I could just hit you up and whatever. If somebody's at your beck and call.
You think that's a relationship or just a good friend? It's a good friend. I think it's just a good friend.
Post-relationship, a relationship. There's a line. There's a line.
Jane, I'm telling you. If he offered, you're not going to take it?
If they offer, that's different.
Versus me calling you and being
versus me calling, hey, can you come over?
But if you want to hang out with me,
whatever. If you want to hang out with me and you just happen to be here, and they here, we talked about having men think things are their own idea. If they're here and they're like, oh, your light bulb is out. Yeah, I haven't been able to change it. And they're like, oh, I can change it for you.
I can change it for you.
Cool. Ding. Thank you.
My fireplace isn't working.
It's like,
let me see.
Yeah. Let me see what I can do. I can't get the fire. You want to watch? The fire stick is not working, yo. Like, I don't know what to do about that.
My internet was definitely jacked up and he fixed it. He was like, give me a minute. high speed.
Listen.
Because they're your friends.
Or they're trying to get some ass.
Well, that's not my issue.
Each one, I would say each one teach one. No. Each one, everything's different. Each one teach one. That's like, that's not the best.
I think you have to create the boundaries to help you, like, either make a decision whether you want to be with him or not, or what's the word I'm looking for? Like, save yourself in a sense.
Yes.
Like, or protect yourself. Protect yourself in a sense.
Well, save yourself from being hurt later on down the line.
Yeah, and protect yourself.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, sorry to save, but I was like, save could work as well. Word.
But to protect yourself from being hurt, another boundary is not like talking after a certain hour.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I would say, I mean, I have that for like certain friends too, like male friends, or friends of the opposite sex, I will say.
What's the latest you'll receive a phone call from ex? Let me do somebody you used to talk to.
10:30.
That's a late. So if you call me after 10:30, it has to be an emergency. My immediate is like, hello, is something wrong?
Yeah, and that's...
No, I just wanted to talk. Oh, okay. I'll talk to you later.
I'm out or I'm going to bed. Now, will I text somebody after? Like, if they call and I'll text back? Okay. But also, I'm expecting you to be dying. Like, the man hit me up late. Like, after not talking, he was like, we need to have a conversation. Do we? So, are you sure? And he was
not
like,
about what, but do we?
Do we? And he was like, yeah, we need to have a conversation. And I was like, okay, you can call me. He was like, no, we gotta do it in person. Okay, you can FaceTime me. Boundaries. You can FaceTime me.
That's a bomb ass boundary.
That's always like, you can FaceTime me. And he was like, no,
you get in the presence of somebody who you used to be
things are like
with, and then they be close.
That's what I was like, your comfort level, they know exactly
what. It's a little harder to like stand on that, don't touch me.
They know exactly what to do to get you back on the good side.
Yeah, FaceTime in bed with a bonnet on, like, what's up? You need something?
You alright? Okay. Are you dying? Your mama alright? Not that I really care, but
I would. Oh my god, I would care if anyone was passing away.
Yes, that's it needs to be
a medical emergency.
If something was going wrong, but it's like, you don't need to talk to me about that immediately. Like,
what you want to be like the third or fourth call?
The next morning. Sure. Yeah.
That's why you need a boundary. Because me, in my romantic way, I want to be the first call.
Of course.
And then Jamie's like, you're not together.
You're not together. You want to break up with me, you are off the emergency call list, my guy. Like, that is what it is. And I need to be off of yours. Because you chose not to come here for support. You chose not to come here for everything else that you get on your benefits package of this relationship.
Retirement package ain't bad though.
Retirement package is a little dicey, but I don't think it includes your mama or your daddy. That's all I'm saying. A retirement package is just you, boo. Barely.
Women are trash.
No.
Women are trash.
No. If you break up with me, that's what you made that decision.
I agree.
If I break up with you, I made that decision. You have the, like, I think I keep it even, where it's like, you have the right to be like, no, I don't want to do X, Y, and Z with you because you didn't want this with me. You didn't want the support from me. You might have remembered all the bad times and forgot about all the good stuff, like all the support, all the help. Girls be helping people out with their wardrobe, get your swag right. Let me hook you up for X, Y, and Z. You don't get that.
With your photos. They be helping with your friendship.
Benefits denied, cut off.
That's fair.
Your job will give you to the end of the month. I don't know about your girl. That's all I'm saying.
Some of them might give you 2 years, so there's that.
Drink.
You had to be a bomb ass friend for that. You had to be bomb.
Wow.
Are there any other boundaries you feel like you need to have with the next?
All of them. You need to knock them down a few pegs. not. I think with an ex, if you have
What's
friends,
your biggest boundary? You feel like
it's
other than sex?
oh,
There's no sex.
It's probably the sex one, or like access to my time.
I think that's mine. My biggest my biggest boundary
is
availability.
Yeah, and
like,
I'm
not going to make time for you. Now, you get in where you fit in, but I'm not going to make time for you.
I was gonna say, if you have friends of the opposite sex that are really close to you, I don't think you should put them same level as those friends. They need to come down a few pegs from under that friend. Yeah, come on, we can finish it out. So we can finish it out.
That's fair.
And go. Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, my thing, I think my time is valuable to me. Well, I know my time is valuable to me, and like I'm good.
Yeah.
I won't make time for you if I'm available at the time you want me to be available. Then I will be.
Then I can make that happen.
But
other
you gotta be super special, and I really need to see you. But do you think when you talk about boundaries, do you feel like you operate from a space of hurt, or do you operate from a space of being healed?
Operate from a space of protection.
For me, I think my boundaries are established because I was hurt, and that might lead to a healing. But like the hurt is keeping that boundary.
And that's a protection because it can go either way. Like it might not, like I might not be fully healed from a situation, but it's like, let me put that wall up so that I don't get hurt, and so I can heal. So it's kind of like in the middle ground of like, okay, I know what it takes for me to get past it. Yeah, detach. Yeah. I know what it takes for me to heal. I know what it's gonna be for me to like catch feelings or whatever again. Let me sit myself in this bubble.
But I think it's hard. It's hard when it's not a bad breakup and it's not a bad guy, or you don't, like Jamie likes to say, you don't remember the bad times. It's hard to create that because it's like there's been a clean cut, but you have to like individually cut the emotional ties because that's not as clean.
Yeah, and I don't think it's gonna be easy. I always think it's gonna take time. It always takes time, especially based on the length of your relationship.
How long do you think it should take?
It depends on the length of the relationship.
So do you believe, isn't there a saying that's like,
the relationship,
it takes you like half the time
of the relationship? Yeah.
Well, listen, I spoke to my therapist. She said that is untrue.
That's great. That's wonderful. I would hope.
She said that is untrue. She said it takes however long
it takes.
Yeah.
I feel like it takes however long it takes. Do I think there are things that you can do to ease the process or move you further along? Yes. If you are doing things that are going to put you in positions where you are still craving or needing that attention and you're not able to separate your emotions or break free from that hold that the relationship has on you, you're holding yourself back. Like, of course it's going to take you longer. You might have been in a relationship for 2 years and it takes you 5 years to get over it because you want to see him and cuddle and all this other stuff at the end of the night. Yeah, sis, it's going to take you longer.
I agree with that.
Less?
2 years, it shouldn't take you 5 years to get over that nigga. Excuse me, or man. Any man. It should not take you 5. 2 years, it definitely shouldn't take 5.
I mean, but if you play in
the game. And if I did that, I would fully expect you to be like, get it together.
I had you at 1.5 years. Like, hey, let's, I hear you and I support you. However, let's figure out what we're doing here. Whatever your decision is, your decision. That, you have to have friends that are like, I will support you
no matter what.
No matter what. Especially if it's not somebody's putting hands. That's where I cross line. Somebody's not putting hands on you.
I think cheating is a little bit like abuse is
a hard no.
It's a hard no, and I don't know. I can be your friend through that, but I'm not gonna be supportive
of you getting back into that situation.
I'm gonna do whatever I can to be like, listen, sis, this is not what you need.
Cheating, that's your cross to bear.
Cheating. If you can get over cheating,
that's on
you. And listen. If you rock out, I'm gonna rock out.
See, you stay around. You made a commitment, not me.
I'm
along for the ride. I might be in a shotgun or back seat. Put me in a car. Pick me up. I'll be there for you. That's it.
Oh
That's
Lord,
it.
let's wrap this shit up, girl.
For real. You wrap it. You started and I finished it. There we go.
I think in life you need boundaries.
Oh,
With everyone in your life, you need boundaries. Whether they're your ex, your friends, your family, yourself. You need to know
what your
what's
boundaries
your hard no.
And you can't let anybody else define your boundaries for you. You know what's best for you. There's a lot of people in life that feel like they know what's right for you, and all they can say is their opinion. But at the end of the day, it's your decision because you have to live through it and make the right decision for yourself.
Yeah. And
So,
make
set
sure
those
you
boundaries.
have good friends and family that respect if you want to ignore your boundaries at times. And on that note,
And I was like, and listen, if you don't, you can always write into the podcast.
and we will support you.
We will support you, or listen to, like, you know, I feel like it's helpful to have somebody outside of the box.
You need an unbiased person.
Yeah, an unbiased opinion, whether that's your therapist or a friend that's a little further out, or somebody you feel comfortable talking to.
Yeah.
So whether that's us or somebody
and you need,
else.
like, clear ears.
Yes.
Not someone who's heard it all. Because, like, I have friends who I haven't talked to in a while, but who are like this either way. And when they hear something and they're like, so, does that make sense to you? And I'm like, damn, that don't make sense.
Like, hearing it back don't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so usuppinashot@gmail.com, in the comments, Instagram, DMs,
We got
whatever.
you.
We got you.
And on that note, it's VJ.
It's Jane.
And this is
A Sip
and a Shot. Bye.